Welcome to L5 Star FC's LFC versus Man City Premier League reaction video. Well, guys, not a very good video to start off with, just because, not a disappointing result, fair to say. We'll start with you, Salah. What went wrong yesterday?
A lot of things went wrong yesterday. It's just see how good a position. We didn't have our best team out. The lineup was wrong to start with. He's lost for words. It's because City spun us around in circles. 4-1. Our defense was absolutely shocking yesterday. Like, we know we have two midfielders in there and they're not proper defenders, but we're just unlucky on this season. But the performance in general, I think we started off slow. And then last 20 minutes, I think that's when we had that Marnie header, and then we were creating. But one problem for me is that whenever we went inside the final third, we would get around to Trent, we would have the wing, but then we would go back, we would play those back passes, which I couldn't understand. You're not going to create chances by playing back passes. Move the ball forward, play the ball around, and you can get your chances. For me, if anyone's blaming, Alisson has made two mistakes, completely his fault. One of the mistakes, he didn't have an option, but still, I'm going to back Alisson till the last minute he leaves the club, because he saved us many other occasions. If it wasn't for him, forget about the 2019 Champions League. Alisson has saved us. One mistake doesn't define Alisson. Alisson's a great keeper, probably the best in the world. But I think we were unlucky with yesterday's performance, but hopefully we can turn it around against Leicester.
Yeah, I hope so as well. I thought the team showed a little bit too much respect for each other early on. I think it was quite... I think we were nervy of making a mistake, and it was fair to say it was the same for City as well. And we grew into the game. I think, if anything, half-time come a bit too soon for us. But yeah, we didn't look on it from the word go, really. Passing it sideways and backwards, not like Liverpool at all, really. Charlie, what did you make of the performance yesterday, and what went wrong for you?
I think first off, we played really well. We passed slowly, and when we could have passed it forward, we passed it sideways. But I think we were on top most of the first half, created a few half chances. Mane had that header, Firmino had that pop shot that Ederson saved. I think we had a few decent chances. Fabinho gave away that penalty. That was just awful. Don't know what he was doing. He left his leg out. There was no need for that. Lucky Gundogan skied it. Second half, they just started off so much better than us, and they just looked like they were going to score. And then Alisson made a decent save for their first goal, and then no one was marking Gundogan. He basically had to tap in. And then I think, for me, Alisson made three mistakes. I think the first one, he should have cleared it. The second one, he just passed it right to Bernardo Silva. And the third one, it was right at him, and it was near post. He could have easily saved it, but obviously he has saved us, and you can't forgive him at the end of the day, because I think we were out of the title race anyway. So but yeah,
I think this was the game to Alan speak. He can speak.
Oh yeah, I just think his confidence was shot for the last goal. I think obviously not a great game for him, but I'm sure if he had to choose when he'd make his mistakes, I'm sure he wouldn't have chose the Man City game. But he's been instrumental in us winning the Champions League, the Super Cup, and the Club World Cup. So he's allowed an off day, I think. But we were never really in the title race for me. But what were you going to say, Salah?
I was going to say, I'm a big Robertson fan, but yesterday Robertson was poor in my opinion, because it's because I don't know what's been happening. Robertson's clicking. We've seen it in the past two seasons. When Robertson's playing good, Marnie's playing good. When Marnie's playing good, Robertson plays good. They have that two connection between them. But if you see yesterday, Marnie was pretty average yesterday. He went for 12. He went for 12 dribbles, only completed 5. That's not like Marnie. Marnie should be doing better in his dribbling. Yeah, he's been lacking from it this season as well. It was pretty hard for him against Tottenham a while back at Anfield. Marnie, he's the player that we can trust because he has that killer instinct to make things happen, to score goals in final minutes. But he wasn't at it yesterday against City. And Robertson, I think for the Gundogan goal, I think when Alisson saved, I think he should have been there. I know it was unexpected, but he should be taking him on. And then I think the best player on the pitch was Curtis Jones. He was always trying to do something, driving forward. Like I suggested he'd start. I wanted him to start on the preview, and he delivered. But I don't know why he was taken off by Klopp. I don't know why he was taken off with Shaqiri because he was the only guy trying to make things happen, and it would have not been bad if he had a full 90 minutes yesterday. But it's disappointing now. It's because like our tower hopes are basically done now. I think this was the only game that could have like probably regained some hope. But now I think it's completely. Now we just have to completely put our focus towards top four. If we get past Leipzig, let's see what we can do the Champions League. Like get top four, get our players back like Virgil, Gomez, and go again next season. Try to go for the title. But yesterday, as Charlie said, the performance was good, but it was just certain parts of the game that I was disappointed.
Yeah.
Do you think Alisson's mistakes were due to him coming back from illness, or do you think it was just like we're just making excuses up for him?
Mistake. I think it's just a genuine mistake, to be honest. Like mistakes.
Three genuine mistakes. I'm not sure for the best goalkeeper in the world. Arguably, you could say Oblak or ter Stegen, but he's in the top three. 3 bad mistakes, and he was ill a few days ago. I'm not sure.
It could be fatigue.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, he probably wasn't 100%, but the cold feet stuff, I don't think there was any real substance to that. I think it was just tongue in cheek. To be honest with you, I don't think there was anything. Obviously, Alisson. It's just I'm lost for words for Alisson. Really, like he's the best keeper in the world. And form is temporary, class is permanent. That's what they say. And I'm sure he'll come back stronger for Leicester. And maybe that's, I think he made a mistake against Leicester 2 seasons ago. And I don't want to say it now and jinx it because they're playing Leicester on the weekend. But like he made a mistake against Leicester and then he was much more solid. It felt like it almost humbled him and made sure that he was confident on the ball the next time. And I'm not sure if we can put it down to his illness, but I get where Charlie's coming from, where if you're not 100%, a few percent down, it can affect your performance, and Man City will punish you if you're lacking by 1 or 2%, which I think will happen on Sunday.
Another thing
definitely
is Gini Van Adam. What do you lot think about it? Because for me, yesterday, again, he didn't look at it.
I think he's lacking hunger because I think he's like, I'm going at the end of the season. Why am I bothered? And he just played average. He was all right. He didn't do anything bad. He didn't do anything good. He was just there, really. It was like
sideways passing. But I think now, if Naby Keita comes back, I think there's rumours that Naby should be back for Leicester. I think we have to drop Genies because his head's not at it, in my opinion. Like he knows he's going. We're not offering them a new deal. His head's not at the club. So my preference would be don't play Genie until you need.
I think he deserves a rest. To be honest with you, I think he's played a lot of football.
Yeah, he's played
in a very short period of time. And I think every player in the team's played a lot of football. You could say the same about every team, every top 16. They played a lot of football, but you give. I think with the fans, I know we don't want to make excuses and say Liverpool, they're fans and they rely on fans the most. But the way they were impressing on yesterday, which I found very unlike Liverpool, where as if it was last season and there was fans in the ground, I'm sure they would have been a bit more up for it, chasing the balls down and not letting City have the ball, really. I know they like to obviously keep the ball a lot, and we struggled with that yesterday, especially. But it does take its toll when the fans aren't in there, and especially when it's Anfield as well. So I think that was a big turning point on the game. It was almost like 11v11 when Anfield's usually known as the 12th man, isn't it? So yeah. But yeah, what do you think about our realistic targets now for the rest of the season? Top 4. sealing top four? Do you think it's a
Yeah,
certain
I
that we
think
do
it's.
seal it, or do you think that we'll still have to put all eggs in one basket and make sure we just stay in there and try and get top four?
I think it's just top four. To be honest, I think if we don't get top four, we won't be able to sign top class players, and the players that are there,
Yeah.
Salah, Mane, Firmino, all the best players, they won't be able to. They won't be very happy to be at the club if there's no Champions League football.
Yeah, very true.
Top four is a must because the thing
Top
with
four,
Europa League this year they've made a difference. Normally seventh goes into the Europa League playoffs, and sixth and fifth goes in. But this year it's a Europa Conference League, UEFA Conference League. So if we get a sixth and a seventh, we're not going to go into the Europa League. We're going to go into a Conference League. We need to get top four. All the players that we linked with, if Klopp really wants Mbappe, he needs to get top four. If the interest in Ruben Bacano is genuine, we need to get top four. We need to get top four for the sake of the club, because we know as a club we are the best players. We have a lot of top class players that don't deserve to be playing in the Europa League. That they are proven Champions League players. They've won the Champions League. We need to get top four this season, no matter what. And we need to start picking up form now, because it's going to get very bad if we don't get top four come the end of the season. There's 16 more games left. We need to put our shit together, man. It's because right now what I'm seeing is that we're winning 2 games and then we're dropping off in form. Which now
I think you're overreacting. To be honest, I think if you look at the players, we've definitely got the quality. It's like, if you look at it, I think it's us, City, United, top 3, and then there's like another league table in itself who gets the 4th spot. I think we've got enough class. We win our next few games, and then we should be all right. And I think, I think we're all right for top 4.
I think we will make it, but I just have that little lingering doubt that what happens if we like slip up against Leicester, and then like we have United and Chelsea in the coming months. Like Chelsea are 1 point behind us now. If like say 2 weeks ago, I think they were 3-4 points behind us.
Yeah, but it's like
they've got that new manager bounce with Tuchel.
Go on, Charlie.
When you get a new manager, you're up for, you want to fight for your place. Especially they've got such a big squad. You're like, right, I want to prove myself to Tuchel. And if you look at Marcus Alonso, he was awful under Lampard, but then Tuchel's given them a chance, right? Go out there and prove that, yeah. And I think prove to me that you should be in the squad, and Chilwell's been dropped. And I think they've got that hunger to fight for the manager right now.
Yeah, 100%. And the league's changing all the time, by the way. And I mean, remember that mid-December game in Anfield, Liverpool 1-2-1 at Tottenham. Now, Tottenham were considered title challengers then, and a month and a half they were 8th last week. So I mean, it can change all the time. Like if we string through some 4 or 5 good results, we could find ourselves a few points clear of everyone else at obviously 3rd, or if we beat Leicester, or 2nd maybe. So I think that we still need to get a good run of results together. But 100%. Obviously, I think that if we do drop a few points, like get a few draws here and there, I don't think it'll be the end of the world. But I do think we still need to turn the form around and score more goals, because it's just not coming at the moment as much as we want.
Shall we go on to the player ratings now?
Yeah, we'll go on to the player ratings. So I'll start with Alisson. What's your player ratings, guys, for Alisson?
For me, it's 3, because 3 bad mistakes. 3,
Yeah, 3. Yeah, we'll agree on 3. 3. Do you agree on the 3, Salah?
Yeah, I agree on the 3.
And your favourite player, Salah, what would you give Robbo?
I'll give Robbo a 4.
4. Yeah, I think
I'd give him a 6, to be honest. That he didn't play great. I don't think he actually played awful. I'd just give him a 6. He was average.
Yeah, I think he was quite quiet, wasn't he? I think he slightly neutralised. He looked energetic in the first half, but then the second half he looked a lot more fit, like all the other players. So I think based on that, I'll give him a 5. I think we'll compromise and go for 5 or something.
The thing which distracted Robertson is that When C came out in the second half, they went to a 4-4-2 with Rodri blocking the right side.
Yeah.
Robertson had no freedom to attack, which is why Robertson's strength is the freedom to attack down that left-hand side, which is why he couldn't do that yesterday. But I think 4-5 is a fair score for him. He wasn't woeful.
Yeah.
Not good.
And the two centre halves, the makeshift centre halves, Fabinho, Henderson, what are we giving them?
I think they were both average, but Fabinho gave away that stupid penalty, so I'd give Henderson a 6, Fabinho a 5.
I can agree on that. What about you, Salah?
Henderson 6. I agree with Charlie.
Yeah. What about Trent? What about Trent? Are we seeing more promising signs for him?
But Trent, I think 6.5, 7, because he was trying to make things happen. Like, what was it? Before Tottenham, what was it? It was just like get the ball across the in straight away with no one in the box. But slowly he's improving that. Even yesterday, like he tried making things happen from the right. So I'll give him a 6.5. I think 6.5 is first score for Trent.
Yeah, I can agree on that. I think obviously he was not his best. I think, like you said, with the 4-4-2, they stopped him from playing. They stopped all the fullbacks from playing because they're known for having the freedom and the channel to run up. So I think he was slightly neutralised in the second half. But I think as bad as Trent has been a few games ago, like the way he started the new year, hasn't hit the forms he's hit last season. But neither has any player, to be honest. But like I said, I'll give him a 5 or 6. I'm not so sure. So
I'd say 6.5 because I think he done really well going forward. But he got roasted alive. I don't know how many times by Sterling.
Yeah,
he just went past him like he just wasn't there. It was like a training session for Sterling.
Yeah, I know. He's every time Sterling picked up the ball, the way he was cutting inside, I felt like every time he cut inside, Liverpool would drop asleep, and that's how the Gundogan first goal come off, the penalty. Every time he was cutting inside, I think we were like just hesitated slightly, and you can't hesitate against a team like Man City, can you? So I think they punished us on countless occasions yesterday. So midfield, it was Curtis, Wijnaldum and Thiago. We'll start with Gini. What's your player ratings for Gini?
Charlie, you can go
on. I'll give him a 5.5. He was average, and then he gave the ball away in midfield, which you can't do that. You can't give away possession in midfield. So 5.5 for me.
Yeah. What about you, Salah?
Give him a 4. Done nothing special.
Yeah. Again, very tired. I think he a lot of football for him, but I think it. Yeah.
He has so many chances to play the ball forward. Like, I'm not sure. So many. Like, he had 4-5 chances to play the ball forward, and he just gone sideways. But it wasn't like a woeful performance. It was just like he should have done a lot better. And we know G never. We know he's a very good player, and his reliability is top class. But I would give him a 4. He was average yesterday.
Yeah, I agree. I think he wasn't awful, but we've seen a lot better from Gini of recent. So hopefully he gets a nice rest in the next few days and comes back stronger for the Leicester game if he does start that game. And we'll go with Curtis Jones, now one of our more promising players. Yesterday we were more impressed with him, lads. So what are we going for Curtis Jones?
I'd say probably an 8. He was really good. He went forward.
Yeah,
I don't know why he took him off on the 70th minute, because he was the only person who was trying, who was creating, and he had that shot. I forget what minute it was, but he had that shot where he was just slightly wide, and he looked really bright.
Yeah, what are we going for Salah for Kurt? What rating are we going for Curtis Jones?
8.
8, yeah, I agree.
The only Liverpool player that can come out, one of the Liverpool players, and come out with his head held high from yesterday's defeat. He was.
He's one for the future as well.
Decisions. Yeah, I agree. He's one for the future, and hopefully he keeps his standards high, and he'll achieve. I'm more than sure. that he will do that.
I think because he's a boyhood like Liverpool fan and he's local, I think he'll have like that he'd be local to Liverpool. What's it called? I forgot what it's called.
He has ambition.
Loyal to Liverpool, like Harry Kane's been loyal to Spurs, even through the thick and thin. So that's another positive.
Yeah, and he's local as well, which always wins over the heart of Liverpool fans. So Thiago as well. I thought he was a bit neutralised yesterday. A bit like Gini Wijnaldum, he did look quite tired. He didn't create as much as he has done. Probably needs a bit of a rest now because he's played every minute since the injury. But what are your thoughts on his performance, and what rating would you give him?
I think my rating I'd give Thiago, I'll give him a 4 or 5. I'll give him a 5. It's because I'll give him a 4 instead, because he got taken off. What was it? Pretty much 5 minutes into the second half. I don't blame Thiago. The thing with Thiago is he wants to go forward. We see Klopp's using him as a mixture. He's using him. Sometimes he can go up as an 8, and sometimes you have to create from like the deep area of the pitch, the 6. And that's not his game. He needs to have he needs to go forward. He needs to run forward, create. But yesterday it was average, so I'll give him a 4. But I'm just wishing. I'm just wishing Kabak adapts, and then Fabinho can go back into the midfield. And now, because then Thiago will have that freedom to go forward. But I'll give Thiago a 5.
Yeah, I agree. But what were you saying, Charlie?
I'd say a 5, but I think I've got a bone to pick with Thiago because, right, he's been playing in the number 10 role. I think this game, and then Wijnaldum was playing CDM, and he's not done anything since he's come to Liverpool. He gets booked far too often. He goes in for tackles that he doesn't need to. He gets booked for no reason. He's just he should be carrying us like Bruno Fernandes is at Man United. He was nothing. He was playing Portuguese football, and Thiago is a world class 29. Should be in his prime years, centre mid, and he's not carrying us. And I don't care if Manny and Salah aren't making noise. He should be creating a lot more.
Yeah, I think it's very true. You could stake a case that, like the front 3 aren't firing, but like you said, if he's not delivering, then they're not gonna, finish their dinner either. So obviously, Thiago hasn't really lived the heights of the last few games, but I'm sure he'll turn it round. I mean, he's got to turn it round for the caliber of player he is. I'm sure he'll turn it round. I'm sure he will, more than certain.
You can tell he's got quality, but he just doesn't show it. He doesn't try hard enough, and he doesn't play forward passes. He's always, when he gets the ball, he's got options forward, and he just slows the game down. Like, his technique of passing's really good, but his vision, I've not seen. It's not been good enough.
Yeah, I know.
I think
hopefully. Go on, Salah. Go on.
I think against.
Go on. You
he has the ability to speed up the game, but because whenever he's done it, he's had security behind him. That game is being Everton and Chelsea. He has played those forward passes into the deep channels, but ever since Fabinho's gone into centre half and he's played, he can't do that. But Thiago, he's a different type of player. He will succeed, and hopefully he does. When we get a fully fit squad, hopefully he succeeds next season, and hopefully now for our top 4 hopes. But Thiago is a class player. Hopefully he can turn it around.
Yeah, 100%. And we go on to the front 3. We'll start with the centre forward, Firmino. He had the pop shot in the first half. But to be honest with you guys, I didn't really see much of Firmino in the game. I don't know if it was me, but I didn't really see him a lot. What are your thoughts, Salah?
I'll let Charlie go this one. Charlie, you can speak on this one.
Thanks, Salah. I think Firmino, he's not been the player that he was 2 years ago. Because 2 years ago, sorry, don't mean batteries low. 2 years ago, he looked really good. He linked the play up, but now he's just so inconsistent, and he gives the ball away far too easily, and he doesn't score goals. Salah's inconsistent, but at least he scores the goals to win us the games. Firmino, he doesn't score. He doesn't give assists recently, and he's just been poor this whole season.
Yeah, I agree. I think 17-18 was obviously
Best
he
season.
was absolutely sensational that season, and he hasn't really lived the heights of that season. Hopefully he can reignite it, but
I think so.
you know, yeah, that was the peak of the powers that year.
I think
But,
we should be really looking at someone in the summer to come and replace Firmino, because he's a great player, the quality just lacking.
Yeah, I think he's got this year and probably next season at most. I think that's probably be the last few years that we'll see Firmino in a Liverpool shirt. Hopefully he can turn it round, and because every time Jota's been fit, I've always seen Firmino. He's always played well. I think we obviously lack that little bit of competition, and when we get a few injuries, players aren't. I think they feel a bit too comfortable in their position. Maybe I'm not so sure. And hopefully Jota can get back as soon as possible and try and push Firmino for a starting spot. Hopefully, but yeah, we'll start with Mane. Charlie, what's your player ratings for Mane?
5 again. His hunger. I don't know where his hunger gone. He doesn't seem to work hard. He doesn't seem to be determined. Mane should be getting on the edge of the box and running at players, running into the box, trying to get penalties, trying to create chances, trying to score. And he's just not done that in recent games, in the past 5 games. Since the Palace game, just fell off a cliff, haven't we?
Yeah, I agree. What were your player ratings for Mane, Salah?
5. Again.
5, yeah, I agree. And we'll get on to Mo Salah.
Again, if you look at the stats for Mane, he had 1 key pass, 1 accurate cross, 0 accurate crosses, and then he lost the ball 10 times. That's not like Mane to lose that number of times, but he was average yesterday. Let's be honest.
Yeah, we could use Charlie's point about Alisson, like maybe Mane weren't 100% match fit. That I'm not so sure. You could stake the case that maybe he wasn't. He's certainly not 100% match fit because he's had a few games out. I thought that on Wednesday against Brighton, I was getting quite nervy because I thought if he's going to start against Man City Sunday, I thought he's going to be at least on the bench at Brighton. So I did think it was a shock to see Mane go straight in there. But obviously Mane wasn't brilliant yesterday, but yeah, hopefully he has a few more days to rest. He's had some recovery time and he'll be back stronger. But same with Salah. Obviously, he scored the goal, scored the penalty. He tucked the penalty away in the midsection of the goal. What were your play ratings for him, guys? I'll start with you, Salah.
7.
7, yeah. What about you, Charlie?
Yeah, I'd agree 7. He was the only player who actually tried in that game. He's making runs, working hard, Salah. So,
yeah. I
7.
think him and Curtis Jones were obviously the best players for Liverpool yesterday. But yeah, we'll leave it there. Obviously, Milner, Costa, Tsimikas come on, and who else come on?
Shaqiri it was.
Shaqiri, that was right, yeah. So yeah, but we'll leave it there. It's been a pleasure to talk to you guys on the LFC Man City game. Hopefully we'll be back with another video for the Leicester game. Been a pleasure talking to you guys, Salah and Charlie. Thank you.